Etihad South. It feels very familiar. Today it's City against Liverpool, not the first time that these two have met here at Wembley. I remember a penalty shootout in the League Cup a few years ago, but here we are at Manchester City in 2022 against Liverpool. Who's going to win? Who's going to be fit? What sort of day is it going to be? Well, it's obviously a very sunny day, and every time I look around this area it just seems to be more built up. Buildings come and go. And now even the archway sort of disappearing. I know that the light's not great there, but you can see, there you go, there's the archway, but even that's disappearing now behind these big buildings. So, as ever, let's see what the mood is ahead of this game, and let's see what it brings. So what's going on here then? A City fan and a Liverpool fan sat together. How's this happened?
The sun's out, the seats were empty.
Banter's never met each other before?
No,
never
banter's
before.
happening.
I think this is where we miss Aguero. In these close games, this is where we miss him. So I think today might be a Liverpool day. I hope it won't be, but I think today just might be them. I think midweek took too much out of us.
What do you think?
Naturally, I'm going to go for a Liverpool victory, but it's going to be a tight game, I think. I actually hope that De Bruyne plays, because I'd rather play a really top quality side. I don't like this, De Bruyne's not playing, we've got a chance. You don't need to play like that, you don't need to think like that. You need to go out and win every battle.
Well, I'm quite confident City do. I wouldn't even be here if I thought City were going to get beat. I reckon 2-1.
The rivalry with Liverpool, is it the biggest one then?
Not really, no. Our rivalry is with United. It's a derby. That's a derby. This is just two towns near one another.
Is it convivial, the atmosphere then?
Well, I've only just got here, so I don't really see what it is. But going on past games, like when we played them in the League Cup, I just hope at the end of the game, it's like that, and they vamoose.
I think it's going to be decided by substitutions, if I'm honest. I think the impact, second half maybe, whoever Pep brings on will make a big difference. Whether that's De Bruyne, whether that's whoever comes on, Foden, depending on the starting 11. It's going to be a difficult one, very difficult, given Wednesday.
Down here, the organisation, it's obviously good weather, isn't it?
Yeah, so far so. Going to be beer, sunshine, city. What more do you want? So it's a perfect scenario. We just need to get home over the line today, really.
Does it make it more enjoyable, less enjoyable, about the same? The fact that it's Liverpool.
If we win, more enjoyable. Of course it would. If we lose, then I won't speak for hours. So yeah, it's I want to be hopeful, but it's going to be a fine line. So, 1 ounce of brilliance from somebody will make a difference from either side, really.
My score predictions for today are going to be, I'm going to go 3-1 City, 3-1. Jesus to score if he starts, Sterling to get a goal.
I think Antonio will get 2 assists, and I think Sterling will get a goal. I honestly, if we win, Sterling's going to score.
He's always done his best against Liverpool, has he? Is today the day then?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he could have done the winner on Sunday, but got bad luck against us. But I think he'll do all right today. Honestly, I think he'll do all right. Him and Jesus works hard, so I guess he'll start, and he should play well.
I think anything's a bonus today, Ian.
Really?
Yeah. I think with the bruising night on Wednesday, and they rested all their players on Wednesday as well. I think it's going to be a tough game. Walker out, big loss. We need his pace. His covering pace is vital, I think, against Salah and the likes of them. And whether De Bruyne is going to play, he's a big miss as well. So I'll take anything. Extra time win, penalty win, anything. But we've got bigger trophies to play for, I think.
A lot of City fans are saying things like that.
Yeah.
That's not the way Pep thinks, is it?
No, he'll want to win. But I think behind closed doors, obviously he will, but we're up against a great team, so we're here, semi-finals, we're here nearly every year, so we'll just enjoy the ride, so may the best team win.
As long as they're wearing blue.
yeah, fair enough.
What do you reckon?
2-1, 2 Sterling goals, Jota header, because it always happens, but
The second person who said Sterling, I mean, he's had a history of not necessarily excelling against Liverpool. Is this the day then that...
Yeah, this is it. He got the offside goal and it was a good finish. the other week, so I reckon he's got it. He's going to get it this time.
Yeah, last week he had a goal disallowed, which
Yeah,
is what you're referring to.
yeah.
This is his payback, is it?
Yeah, this is it. 2 goals, that's what I'm going for.
This is exactly what I'm thinking. We're going to win this. I don't think we've actually got a problem. Unsure about the team, but let's give it our all. Come on, City.
What's it like being at Wembley South again? Etihad South, not Wembley South.
Yeah, Etihad South. It is amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. The sun is shining and the sun shines on the righteous.
I want to do interviews for BBC. Jonathan, you played for City briefly. You're still a Blue. Still at Wembley. What's today mean to you?
Today means a lot. Like, as you said, I was at City for a long time. I only managed 1 game in the first team, but it just stays in your blood. So I'll follow City until I die, really. Disappointed I couldn't get to the Liverpool game last week, and as soon as I could get tickets for this game, I took the chance, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Not been Wembley for a while, so hoping for a good game and a good win.
Your brother Nathan played for City as well.
Yeah.
So it's in your blood, it's in the family.
Yeah. It's in the family. Nathan's just come back from the Dominican Republic today. Otherwise, he would have come himself. But yeah, the whole family will be watching it. Everyone really who knows us is sort of engrossed in the whole Man City thing, so they're all City fans as well. So yeah, big game for City, big game for our family. Everyone wants them to win.
What are you up to these days?
I'm a teacher, so I'm a head of year and maths teacher at a school near Nottingham, and my brother Nathan, he's deputy head at his school in Manchester. So both went down the football route, both gone down the teaching route as well. So yeah, really busy, but still obviously loving our football, still enjoying it.
Last week was a fantastic game. This week, yeah, we're going to be understrength, but I still think we're going to do them. Yeah, 3-1 today, depending on his starting lineup, but yeah, I'm quite confident 3-1.
You're shaking your head.
No. Lose today, we play Liverpool, Champions League final, we stuff them 4-2.
Ah, right, so is it all about psychology then?
I don't think it's about psychology, I think it's about what we've got available today, and what we've got available today compared to they're going for this quad that they're never going to win in a million years because they're not the best team in England. They beat us today with a really good team, but when it comes to Champions League final, we've got our best team out and they don't beat that because they're not good enough.
Are you convinced?
No, just not by our team being beaten. I can never see City being beaten. I'm always going to back us, and today I think we will beat them 3-1. Seriously.
Like, Liverpool beat us today. They've got a better team available on the day. We got battered in Atletico Madrid. We got kicked off the park. But today, we do what we need to do. We'll give them a game. We move on to Brighton in midweek. We win the league. We win the Champions League. Job done.
What do you reckon?
Tough game ahead, definitely. I think it'll be very, very different to last week. I think it'll be more open. Both teams will want to win it. However, I think it's a free shot today. If we win today, we stop that quadruple talk. But if we get beat, we go on to bigger fish to fry. Champions League, Premier League. Let's do it. Up the Blues. Come on, City.
I think we'll lose today, but I think we'll carry on the streak and win the league. And I think we'll go far in the Champions League or lose in the final.
Because I'm working for Indian TV today, I'm TV, so I'm getting to Wembley in a slightly different direction. I don't know if it's ever interested you, maybe it doesn't, what Wembley looks like inside, underneath. Then this is what it's like where all the vans park, etc. Now I'll go out onto the pitch.
I think it's going to be a very close game, and looking at the results in midweek, obviously, and the result last week, there's nothing to separate the two sides. As we've seen over the season, Liverpool have caught City, and you've got to give them credit for that. But I think Liverpool are slight favourites, but I still think City are so resilient they could run out winners 2-1 here today.
Mikel, long time since you played for City, but you've obviously still got some feelings, I guess, for the club, have you?
Yeah, I have to be neutral today because I'm doing commentary for Danish television, but of course inside I support City.
What do you think today?
It's going to be a very tight game. I hope City can last the distance after the very tough game they had in Madrid, and then maybe during the game they can introduce some of the big guns. But I think City will win.
Is this a psychological game? Because obviously they played each other last week,
and they could meet in the Champions League final. So there's a psychology to all this, isn't there?
Yeah, there could be actually. We saw that last season with Chelsea beating Man City and also doing it in the Champions League final because maybe Pep Guardiola was a little bit afraid after what happened in the FA Cup and in the spring in the Premier League where they lost to Chelsea. So maybe if City lose today to Liverpool, it can have an impact on the rest of the season. So hopefully for City they'll win today.
Getting nearer and nearer to the kick-off now. The players are out warming up on the pitch behind me, and as you just saw there, David James, he's doing a piece for Indian TV. He's been working with me. I'll see what his mood is ahead of this game in just a second, but it's a great view from down here on the pitch, I can tell you. I won't be here for the game in this proximity, but it looks good.
David, big game for you because you played for both clubs. What are you thinking today?
Yeah, well, listen, I'm in a wonderful position here where my former clubs are two of the best clubs in the world. So, yeah, just an opportunity to just enjoy some spectacular football like we did last week.
A difficult one to call this, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's the beauty of it. When you've got two teams that are so good in different ways, you'd be foolish to call it. Even seeing the lineups, you could argue that Liverpool might be slightly favourites, but Man City.
You're a busy man at a game like this. We've just been doing Indian TV. You're getting asked everywhere else, autographs. You must be loving it.
Yeah, it's one of those days, isn't it, where I'm sort of supporting Liverpool and Man City and talking to people about both. So I can't complain.
A hero to both fans.
Got to go.
Well, I'm going to say that was an uncharacteristic performance from City in the first half. Lacked a little bit of energy. Bernardo playing very deep. No real outlet for the Blues. Liverpool pressing very, very hard. Playing fabulously well. You have to give them some credit for that. Putting City right on the back foot. Obviously the mistake by Zach Steffen. He knows he made a mistake. It's human to make a mistake, but you can't afford to make one in big games like this. And from that point onwards, I know it's only half time as I'm recording this little bit here now, but really the game's over. I mean, unless the manager Pep is an absolute genius, which we know he is, but does he gamble by bringing on Kevin De Bruyne, who's on the bench today, to try and turn it around? Or does he accept defeat in this game and just think about the challenge for the league title and getting everybody ready for the latter stage of the Champions League? A little bit of a dilemma here. I suspect most City fans, like the ones I talked to before the game, are thinking this one is the least important. It isn't when you're here though, is it?
Please welcome back for the second half, Liverpool!
Here come the players. Let's see what happens. Well, that didn't go the way that City wanted. Losing the game 3-2 though, making a bit of an effort near the end there. When Riyad Mahrez came on, he made a little bit of a difference, but I think the game had been lost. I watched an interview with Jack Grealish after the match, who thought that perhaps once that goal went in, City could have snatched an equaliser near the end. But if I'm being really honest, and I want to be honest, 3-2 probably flattered City a little bit, didn't it, overall? Obviously the mistake by Steffen is the one that people look back on and say cost City the game, but that's football. It makes no difference to my passion for the Blues. Now, as you can see, the stadium is empty now because I've been working, doing reports for Indian television. So I don't want you to think that if we don't get any reaction outside the ground after this one, it's because City lost. Far from it. But obviously, everybody's gone. So I'll do my best when I walk outside the stadium. You never know what I'm going to walk into. But it's certainly nothing to do with the result.
I think we started really badly. Just didn't look like ourselves, couldn't keep the ball in play at times, just nothing like how we usually play, and then luckily came back a bit in the second half, otherwise it would have been really embarrassing.
Obviously everybody's going to look at that Zach Steffen mistake. Do you blame him for this?
I think that mistake was a standalone incident. I think what really stuck out was the fact that Edison wasn't playing and wasn't starting our attacks from the back, and we just couldn't get out, and that was partly because of Zach Steffen.
So there's a little bit of a difference in the distribution.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Definitely.
And what about the team overall? I mean, I looked at the way Bernardo played in front of the back four and not as far forward, and was a little bit disappointed with that.
Yeah, I think, and that's something that's come through in the past couple of games. Bernardo's dropped in there more to support the likes of Rodri and Fernandinho. I think something else that has to be said is that that was probably Fernandinho's last competitive game of football. I think he really showed his age, outclassed by Fabinho, and didn't look the player that he has been for us.
Was there any stage in that game when you thought, especially when Grealish scored, that City might get back into it? And the late goal, of course, Riyad Mahrez, Bernardo. Did you ever think it was possible?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those last two chances when Grealish nearly scored and Sterling had a really good chance as well. Sorry, it was Jesus, wasn't it? It was fantastic, but I think they look tired, and you have to expect that because of the difficult games that they've had, particularly the game in midweek, and strangely he didn't put on hardly any substitutes, whereas Klopp put on 4, and you don't know how match fit the subs were. I mean, we saw Kevin De Bruyne kind of warming up, but he didn't play him. So I think we've just had 3 really difficult games, and Liverpool have had the kind of favourable bounce, really. They've been at home this week, we've been away. We had a really tough game against Athletic, and you could see that in the first half. They just didn't have the energy that they have normally, but they came back in the second half, and it was really exciting. And we could have, if Sterling had, or Jesus at the end, it'd been into extra time. I think we got into extra time, we could have kind of nicked it. So, fair plays, really. And again,
now about City played Brighton on Wednesday, and they won today. Caused a bit of a surprise, really.
Yeah.
Are you worried about that because you've talked about the fatigue?
Well, we're City fans, so we're always worried, aren't we? We just don't want them to throw it away now. But I mean, Liverpool have to play United, but so we'll all be backing United, won't we, on Tuesday? So, it's difficult, but hopefully they're going to be quite tired, and United have had quite a long time to recover. But United are playing so poorly, you can't see them getting a result in Anfield, so it's going to be difficult. I think City can pull it together. I think the second half showed they kind of rallied, they had much more energy. They nearly kind of got an equaliser, so this should beat Brighton, hopefully. But it's going to be fingernails, isn't it, to the end of the season? But that's how it is, isn't it, for City fans? It's always been like this.
So turning a negative into a positive.
Exactly.
It'll all come good. It'll all come good.
It will.
So there you go. Quality over quantity. On to the next one. Despite the defeat, I'm not going to change my stance one little bit. You know what? It's great to be a Blue. See you next time.